Hello friends, welcome back to this series of tenses. So in today's video, today we will learn the tense of past perfect continuous tense, or which is also known as past perfect progressive tense. And today we will let you show the second part of this tense. Okay? And in today's part, today I will show you practically that is when to use this tense or when not to use this tense. And by watching today's video, you will get know the uses of this tense. So no more talking, let's get started our today's video. Okay, so first of all, we will learn when to use the past perfect continuous tense. Here you can see some key points or some keywords. Okay, you can see a few examples with some kinds of situations. So let's start from here. Happening. Okay, so it's very easy to give an explanation that is one activity or something had been happening in the past. Okay, it started in the past and it continued in the past. So on the time we can use the past perfect continuous tense. So here it had been raining all day. So here we have already understood the one rule, and the next is happening before another event. Okay, so it indicates that is one activity had been happening in the past before another event. Okay, and before the another event, it had been happening at that time, and it will be still progress in that moment. Okay, so let me show you how it works. So here we can see she had been cooking before. I have read the before twice. I have written the before twice, but no problem. I am just erase this. Okay, try to say like this. She had been cooking. She had been cooking before the guests arrived. Okay, so here this action had been happening. Okay, this action had been happening before the guest arrived, and it was still progress in that moment. Okay, so we can say had been cooking. So we have already understood that is when something had been happening before another event or before another action. On the time we can use the past perfect continuous tense. Next, happening plus the duration. Okay, so it shows us that the duration or how long it had been happening. Let's see. In this concept, we use two kinds of words. That is for and then since. They had been living there for 10 years. So here we can understand for is here for on the time we have to use for, and besides we can also use sin. Okay, for shows us how long it had been happening, and since shows us when it had been happening. Okay, and when it had started. Okay, so it shows us the period and it shows the duration. Okay, when the action did started. Okay, so here for shows us how long it had been happening, and it shows us what time, okay, and what day for example, that is did the action started. So we have already get it. So on this concept we use this, and here we can get the past perfect continuous tense on this. They had been living. The next is happening plus pattern. Okay, so it indicates that is repeated or regular activity had been happening before an action. Okay, so that is something that is we are used to do it, and it had been happening in the past. Okay, for example, that is you can call this some kinds of a pattern or regular routine or regular activity. So let's see. We had been meeting every weekend. Okay, so right, so let's keep thinking our imaginary. So for example, that is, we had a meeting with someone, okay, but right now we don't have to go anywhere, and right now there isn't any meeting with someone, okay, but this meeting was had been happening in the past, okay, and it had been happening every day, which became our regular activity. Okay, so I hope you get it. So let's see, we had been meeting every weekend. So we had been meeting every weekend. Next, happening plus cause. Okay, so one action had been happening, but it had been happening because of a cause or reason. Okay, so it connects a cause or a reason. Let's see. He was sleepy because he had been working late. Okay, so this is the reason for his he was sleepy. Okay, so on that time he had slept, but before that he had been working late. Okay, that's why that's why he felt like sleeping, and he already lied down on his bed to he had been working to such an extent that he felt like sleepy. That's why this action happens, and this is the reason for his sleepiness. Okay, so here we can get the past perfect continuous tense, had been working. Okay, he had been working late. So here we have already get some uses of past perfect continuous tense, that is when to use it properly. And also right now we will also get know that is when not to use it. Okay, so during the stative verbs, for example, these kinds of verbs, we can't use it during continuous tenses, including past perfect continuous tense. For example, some kinds of verbs like believe, know, understand, love, hate, like, dislikes. So if you use the past perfect continuous tense with these words, then your sentence will be wrong. You can use you can use some of the verbs with this tense, but not at all. It will be wrong. Okay, so there is a long list in any grammar book or in an English book about it. Okay, so if you just follow it, you can get more kinds of notifications about it, and you will learn it very easily. So I hope you have understood it. So if you like this video, just like, comment, share, and follow our video, and see you in the next video, everyone, and bye for now.